Namaste everyone. Good morning and welcome to our live session on Life Simplified. So let us begin with today's topic. And today we are going to talk about reincarnation. I think this is one word which many of us hear and many of us have queries, and we often wonder how this whole reincarnation works. And mainly what we are going to highlight today is when we talk about reincarnation, what we're going to talk about mainly is what do we really take with us and what stays behind. I repeat, आज के सेशन में हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे कि जब हम लोग रीइंकारनेट होते हैं या हम लोग अपना जन्म छोड़ते हैं, नया जन्म लेते हैं, बर्थ और डेथ के साइकिल में जब घूमते हैं, तो कौन सी चीजें हैं जो हम लोग साथ ले जाते हैं और वो कौन सी चीजें हैं जो हम लोग छोड़ कर जाते हैं. So when we talk about this can be split into three different aspects. So we will talk about three aspects: physical level, emotional level, and mental level. So first, let's talk about physical level. कि physical level पर हम लोग क्या साथ ले जाते हैं और क्या चीजें छोड़ जाते हैं. What do we take with us along, we as souls? And what are the things that are left behind? So on the physical level, all the physical things, यानी कि जो भी चीजें आप दो आंखों से देख सकते हैं, वो सब चीजें हम लोग छोड़ कर जाते हैं. But that doesn't mean that we don't take anything along. What we do take along is the physical karma, or in short, prosperity karma. Like of course we have heard everywhere, we don't, and we know कि हम लोग अपना पैसा साथ नहीं ले जाते, अपनी wealth साथ में नहीं ले जाते, अपनी properties, अपनी jewelry, अपना business, we don't take this along with us. Yes, but why do we really do all those things in this life? क्योंकि हम लोग वो form, वो wealth, वो jewelry, वो property, वो money, वो आपका घर, आपके सारे possessions, वो हम लोग साथ नहीं लेके जा रहे हैं. But what we the souls we take along or extract with us is the karma. उससे related जितना भी कर्मा है, prosperity कर्मा जो है, वो हम लोग साथ में लेके जाते हैं. लेकिन उसका जो form है, the physical form, only that is left behind. Like for example, suppose कोई एक इंसान है जिसने ये सोच लिया कि भाई पैसा तो साथ में नहीं लेके जाना है. अगर पैसा साथ में नहीं लेके जाना है, that means मुझे बैंक बैलेंस भी साथ में नहीं लेके जाना है. और अगर मेरे बैंक बैलेंस में मुझे किसी को पैसे देने हैं, तो वो भी तो मेरे को साथ में नहीं लेके जाना है. So there can be, suppose for example, there is a person who thinks कि मुझे तो बैंक बैलेंस साथ में नहीं ले जाना है, तो अगर मैं दुनिया से पैसा ले भी लूं, I don't need to return. End of life means end of the game. So do you think this mentality will work? अगर उस इंसान को किसी को पैसा लौटाना है, yes, suppose the life has got over and the soul has gone up, the soul will again reincarnate with a debt on his shoulder. So yes, we don't take along the money, we don't take along the debts, but we take along that karma. Now have you seen often बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं, जैसे कोई एक इंसान है जो 20 साल का है, somebody who is a 20-year-old boy, and at the 20-year-old age he loses his father and the whole business comes on his shoulder. And when he goes to office, he realizes that his father has left a big loan on his shoulder. अब उस समय वो लड़का अगर अपने आप को एक सोल की तरह देखेगा तो क्या सोचेगा? और अगर उस समय वो अपने आप को एक फिजिकल बॉडी या सिर्फ फिजिकल लेवल से आइडेंटिफाई करेगा तो क्या सोचेगा? Now this person, this guy will have two choices or has two choices. What are those two choices? Choice number one, वो अपने आप को दूसरे लड़कों से कंपेयर करके ये सोच सकता है कि ओ लुक एट माय फादर, ही लेफ्ट अ बिग लोड ऑन माय शोल्डर. इसको देखो, इसके फादर ने तो इसको इतना वेल्थ दिया, इससे ये लकी है, मैं अनलकी हूँ. एंड दैट चाइल्ड कैन चूज टू क्राई एंड बी अपसेट विथ लाइफ. The other option is where he forgives his father and realizes that he has some lessons to learn, or it is possible that he had some debts to pay off in the past, and those have carried forward in the present. So when we understand incarnations or reincarnation, अगर आप सही soul के point of view से देखेंगे, तो yes, life is one from the eyes of the soul. What is reincarnating? Physical body is reincarnating. Your emotional body is reincarnating. Your mental body is reincarnating. But you, the soul, is not reincarnating. Because soul जो है वो तो immortal है. It doesn't die. It is not reincarnating. So कितना बार लोगों को लगता है कि ओके इस जन्म में हम किसी को माफ नहीं करेंगे, फॉरगिव नहीं करेंगे, जो करना है करते जाइए. व्हाई? क्योंकि भगवान आप मुझे नेक्स्ट इनकारनेशन में एक अच्छा हस्बैंड दे देना, अच्छे इन-लॉज दे देना, अच्छी फैमिली दे देना, अच्छा घर दे देना, अच्छा पैसा दे देना. But what do you mean by next life? That next life is actually a continuation of your this life. So our soul is immortal. What is reincarnating? तीन चीजें रीइंकारनेट हो रही है. हमारी फिजिकल बॉडी, हमारी इमोशनल बॉडी, हमारी मेंटल बॉडी, द फॉर्म, द बॉडीज, दे आर रीइंकारनेटिंग. And they are reincarnating based on what is the purpose of our life, what do we need to achieve in life, and what karmas have we generated in the past life or in the past multiple lives. ये कर्मा हम लोग अपने साथ लेके जाते हैं. So sometimes people also have this ideology that why are we running behind money? Why are we running behind material wealth? Why are we running behind things? Because ये सब तो छोड़ के ही जाना है. Yes, वो सब आप छोड़ के जाते हैं, but what you take along with you, आप आपके साथ क्या लेके जाते हैं? You take the karmas along with you. You take the prosperity karma along with you. So if you had a lot of money, or if you have money, how we treat our money, how we treat our prosperity, how we treat the wealth that we have, how we treat all the transactions of money that comes in. Every moment we have to bring this awareness within कि okay, आप ये सब चीज external level पर function कर रहे हैं, but the karma stays in your system. It stays in your aura. So coming back to the story of this boy, say for example, this boy gets upset कि मेरे father ने तो मेरा इतना सारा loan मेरे ऊपर छोड़ दिया. Now this boy actually needs to think that why did I attract a father like that? It is possible that in the previous incarnation, he did not return somebody's loan. And that is why he attracted a parent or a father who left a loan on him. So the loan was his. उसको ट्रांसफर करने के लिए the universe needs to choose a medium or a device or an instrument, and that instrument was his father. अगर वो father के थ्रू नहीं आता तो किसी और के थ्रू आता. Maybe through some business partner, maybe through some family member, maybe through a friend. But that karma, that entitlement is already there. तो हम लोग जब बहुत शॉर्ट टर्म सोचते हैं, so we end up thinking on a very short level that okay, this I'm giving, this I'm taking, this I'm doing. But we need to remember that those things can be temporary, but what decisions we take behind everything, that is more or less staying in our consciousness, is staying in our karmic bank accounts. तो कार्मिक बैंक अकाउंट भी तीन तरह का होता है. There are like जैसे एक बैंक अकाउंट में लेजर्स होते हैं, उसी तरह से karma is also available on, it is segregated or it is kind of there on physical level, emotional level and mental level. इसीलिए आप देखेंगे some people, they may be born in very rich families, but emotionally they are very poor, or emotionally or psychologically they might be under depression, because उनका physical level karma जो है that was very high, but probably the emotional level karma was not very strong. So coming back to on the physical level, हम क्या क्या चीज साथ लेके जाते हैं? We take along our prosperity karma, how we treat our money, how we treat our wealth, what decisions we take related to us. We take that along. What we leave behind is just the form, just the structure, just like how we change our phones. अगर आप आपका फोन बदलते हैं, you're trying to change your device. So जब हम लोग अपना डिवाइस बदलते हैं, what do? We extract all the data. हम लोग उसमें से सारा डेटा, सारा मटेरियल एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं, and then we buy a new device and we input the same data. In fact, your contact list is also the same. Your apps are the same. जहां पर आपने जो डेटा के साथ वो फोन छोड़ा था, वही नया एक फोन, एक न्यू डिवाइस, you put the same data in that device. Now take an analogy, ये जो हम extract करते हैं, of course the old phone gets discarded, the form gets discarded, but उसके अंदर का जो भी important data है, the essence is extracted. Similarly, our physical body is like the device of the soul. ये बॉडी डिस्कार्ड हो जाता है, लेकिन इससे रिलेटेड, फिजिकल बॉडी से रिलेटेड जितना भी कर्मा है, दैट इज एक्सट्रैक्टेड, दैट इज पुल्ड ऑफ, और उसके बेसिस पर द नेक्स्ट इन आवर नेक्स्ट इनकारनेशन a new device is selected, or a new life is based on the data that is extracted from the previous incarnations. Okay, now let me give you some more examples. So like we just spoke about money. Say for example, your house. Say you live in a very big house, you live in a mansion, and you were born in that house, but you were very attached, very attracted, and you made that as, you know, everything, the most important part of your life. Now imagine if there is a person, उसको जब छोड़ने का समय आ रहा है अपने घर को, इसीलिए कहा जाता है हर रिलीजन में, हर कल्चर में, कि when the time comes to leave, we should have the power to leave. Now, when we try to leave this, अगर हमारा knowledge is not complete, you will feel attached, thinking कि मैं ये घर छोड़ रही हूँ, लेकिन वो इंसान वो घर नहीं छोड़ रहा है. That prosperity karma, you will take along the house, the form you have to leave, you have to let go. And when you reincarnate, if you have the karma with you, you will again attract a similar prosperous house or a prosperous place to live based on the karma that you have extracted in this incarnation. Now problem क्या होता है कि जब छोड़ने का समय आता है, अगर हमारा knowledge, if we are so much attached to the physical form, we cannot let go of it, और हमारा सब चीज ढंग से extract नहीं हो पाता. And that is why excessive attachment causes troubles. Excessive attachment can lead to confusions, can lead to kind of unhappiness within. So if you think कि मेरी physical wealth, too much attachment to physical wealth, उससे क्या होगा, जब छोड़ने का समय आएगा, you will wonder कि ये मेरे से जा रहा है. वो actually नहीं जा रहा है. The form is going, the essence, the karma is extracted, and based on that karma, you will again attract the similar prosperity in the next incarnation. So my friends, don't worry. Don't worry कि आप छोड़ के कहाँ जाएंगे. जब छोड़ने का समय आता है, you leave it. Why? Because your karmas nobody can steal. आपका कर्मा कोई चोरी नहीं कर सकता. आपकी prosperity, आपका सामान कोई चोरी कर सकता है, but your karma, which you the soul will take along with you, nobody can steal that. Nobody can take that. That we take along. इसीलिए don't be too attached to the form, but be attached to the essence, because that stays with us. The form will be disintegrated. So when we reincarnate, based on that essence, एक similar तरीके का form आप आकर्षित करेंगे. ठीक उसी तरह से जैसे हम लोग अपना फोन बदलते हैं. So if I have a phone, but if I have the same budget in my hands, if I have same amount of prosperity or money in my hands, I can buy another phone, but based on how much budget in my hands. Similarly, if we have enough prosperity karma with us, we will reincarnate with similar prosperity. So, yes, we do have to let go of the wealth. We do have to let go of our possessions, but we take along the karma, including the karma of debts. So when it comes to paying people, don't think कि ठीक है मेरी तो life अभी खत्म हो रही है. Always have an intention to pay people back. Why? Because if you're not paying back today, you may have to pay back in the next incarnation. वो कभी ना कभी this karma will haunt you. That is why all of us, we sometimes have people who have taken money but they don't return us, and sometimes we feel no, they have cheated us, they have done injustice to us. Yes, that is one level of truth. But another level of truth is, why did we attract them? Why did they ever come in our lives? What was the karma in my system which made me attract this particular person in my life? And when we look at it from that point of view, and when we repay it, you will actually have inner peace because you are repaying some debt, some carry forwards of the past. But when you do it with joy, do it with happiness. Because अगर आप अंदर में anger hold करते हैं, irritation hold करते हैं, and if you don't have inner peace, then you may not even be able to come out of it properly. So that is about the physical level. Now let's talk about emotional level. Emotional level पर what do we take along and what do we leave behind? Okay, so what do you think? आपको क्या लगता है? आप क्या लेकर जाते होंगे और क्या छोड़कर जाते होंगे? So now on the emotional level, it is mainly about emotional relationships. So we give a lot of names to many relationships, like husband, wife, mother, father, son, father, mother, daughter, sisters, siblings, friends. There are so many relationships. Now, all these relationships, when the form of the relationship, say for example, if there is a couple, husband and a wife. So there is a form. The form is of husband and wife. Now, this form is temporary. But the karmas that got exchanged between the two souls, that will go along with you. आपने उस रिलेशनशिप को कैसे ट्रीट किया, उससे रिलेटेड जो कर्मा है वो आपके साथ जाएगा. लेकिन वो रिलेशनशिप का जो लेबल है, the label of a spouse, the label of a father, the label of a mother, the label of a daughter, those labels will stay behind. So when we live certain relationships based on labels, yes, we do our duties, we do many things, but let us not forget that we cannot generate negative karmas in the shadow of that label. Like for example, अगर आपने एक incarnation में किसी ने सोचा कि no, I am a father, so I can do this, but उसको पता है कि वो कुछ गलत कर रहा है to his son maybe or to his people in the family, but he's karmically doing something wrong, but thinking that because he's the father, he can do it. Now here, you are using a relationship label to generate some negative karma. So that relationship label will obviously go away one day because it is temporary. All your status symbols, all your names, all your relationships, all those are temporary. But how you treated other people, sitting on that relationship chair, sitting on that platform, being in that label of that relationship, how you treated other people, what karmas did you generate being on that label, that will stay with you. That will go along with us. But what will stay back, या जो रह जाएगा, is that label. So it is a good idea to be aware at different moments in our life to constantly ask these questions. What am I going to take along and what am I going to leave behind? It is a wise thing to ask. So Grandmaster Chalk in his books, he says very well, what are you going to take with you? And what are you going to leave behind? अगर ये question आप अपने आप से बार बार पूछते हैं, then it brings a lot of wisdom in our aura, wisdom in our system. And we can think about things on a long-term perspective. So अगर हमको किसी के प्रति anger है, you have anger towards a particular relationship, and you in your entire life got irritable at this person, angry at this person, और आपने ये सोचा कि नहीं, नेक्स्ट जन्म में ये रिलेशनशिप मेरा नहीं रहेगा, मतलब एंगर खत्म हो जाएगा. नो, व्हाट आर यू टेकिंग बिहाइंड? यू विल, वो रिलेशनशिप एक्चुअली वो लेबल आपका यही रह जाएगा, but what you will take along with you is the karma of getting angry at that person, torturing that person, troubling that person, and this will come back to you in the next incarnation. So if you see, and it is very difficult to say in which incarnation. Many times people ask this question कि वो कब आएगा, इस जन्म में आएगा कि अगले जन्म में? It can come any time. Actually, from the spiritual point of view, if you see, life is one. So in Islam they say life is one, which is actually the truth, because soul के point of view से आप देखेंगे तो life is one, body के point of view से देखेंगे then there is reincarnation. Now when does which karma get downloaded, that we don't know. We don't know the science behind it. We don't know how it functions. We don't know कि उसकी timing कैसे set की जाती है. वो हम लोग को समझ में नहीं आता है. I mean, at least I'm not aware of that knowledge. But yes, we are all aware that it will come back. It will come back. Now let me just tell you a story. There's a story about this guy. This was shared by in one of our classes. So there was this story about a guy. He used to run a farm. वो एक farm चलाता था, and he was very prosperous. And उसके farm में कोई एक lady थी, जिसको वो जब भी उसको गुस्सा आता, उसकी staff थी, उसको बहुत ill treat करता. Would get very aggressive, very angry at that lady. Why? Because she was a staff. तो उसको जब भी irritation हो रहा है, उसको सामने देखता था, he would shout at that lady. And his entire life he did that. Whenever he has anger, he has frustration, he would download it on that lady. जो उसके farm में काम करती थी, she was like a small staff. तो obviously उस lady में तो power है नहीं कि वो अपने boss को कुछ बोल सके. लेकिन ये तो boss है और वो lady मजबूर थी. She had to do the job, so she had to stay in that job. So this guy used to sometimes physically also get violent. कभी उस पे चिल्ला देता था, कभी हाथ उठा देता था, thinking that he's the boss और ये उसका staff है, उसका जब बनाया उसे वो वैसे treat कर सकता है. Okay. Now, what happens to this relationship? So in fact, entire life, this boss was treating his employee, a small employee working in his organization, in his farm, in a very bad way or aggressive way, and literally tortured this lady all his life. Now guess what happened in the next incarnation or in the next phase? In the next incarnation, this same lady, उससे उसका कर्मा इतना अटैच हो गया, इतना जुड़ गया, क्योंकि उसने इतने नेगेटिव बीज डाले. This lady was born as his wife in the next incarnation. And now can you imagine how would that wife be? Now this wife used to download all her anger because she had a lot of inner anger. So she used to keep on getting angry at her husband. And the circumstances were such कि वो चाह के भी divorce नहीं कर सकते थे. They could not take a divorce. The guy wanted to go away, but वो मजबूर था. क्यों मजबूर था? Because of some circumstances. In the same way, how the lady was desperate, वो मजबूर थी, वो अपना job नहीं छोड़ पा रही थी. That same situation came back to the guy in a relationship where the lady kept on torturing him, nagging, getting upset, getting irritable all her life. But this guy could not leave her because of her circumstances. Now this guy in this next incarnation obviously has a choice. अब वो अपना पिछला incarnation तो देखा नहीं है. But logically we need to understand that all the troublesome relationships, all the relationships where people download crazy emotions on us, they download anger on us, they cheat us, they ill-treat us, mistreat us. And that is where forgiveness comes in. बिकॉज ऑन द इमोशनल लेवल हम लोग ने हो सकता है ऐसे ही किसी को ट्रीट किया है इन द पास्ट. सो वो रिलेशनशिप तो यही छूट जाती है. दैट लेवल stays back. What gets extracted with us, what goes with us up and comes back, is the karma that we generated with that relationship. And we attract similar situations in the next incarnations. Which incarnation we don't know. Similar situations हम लोग आकर्षित करते. इसीलिए it is so important to practice inner forgiveness. Sometimes we really wonder, this person, why is this person so cruel to me? Why is this person ill-treating me? मेरे साथ इतनी injustice क्यों हो रही है? मेरे साथ इतना negative क्यों हो रहा है? So instead of looking at things outside, instead of paying attention to the form, pay attention to the essence. That why am I attracting this? And how can I solve this as a soul? Realizing that if I don't solve this today, it may come back to me tomorrow again. And I'm sure nobody wants it like that. हम लोग कोई नहीं चाहते कि फिर से ये साइकिल चलता रहे, फिर से ये साइकिल हमारे ऊपर डाउनलोड होता रहे. None of us would want to make that happen, right? So coming back to the emotional level, ये तो हो गया little bit about the negative part, but there is also a positive side to it. Now what is a positive side to it? हम लोग जो भी emotional level पर अपने आप पर मेहनत करते हैं, like I'm assuming that many of you watching are into pranic healing, for example, or maybe into some kind of self development. So suppose ये हो सकता है कि बचपन से आप जब पैदा हुए थे, बचपन से ही आपके अंदर बहुत गुस्सा था. You know, you would get angry a lot, and you were short tempered. But after coming into pranic healing, or maybe coming into any other self development, you took up courses, you took up things, और आपने अपने आप पर, you know, like you did pranic psychotherapy or you did purification, आपने बहुत मेहनत की अपने आप को उस situation से निकालने की. Okay, say I repeat, बचपन से आपके अंदर एक नेगेटिविटी थी on the emotional level, say for example of anger, but you worked hard on it. You tried to remove it. You tried to purify yourself with it. You removed that tendency within you, and you developed lot of patience, lot of tolerance, and lot of love aspect within you. Suppose आपने इस जन्म में वो किया, आपने मेहनत की अपने आप के इमोशंस पर, तो ये जो मेहनत आपने की है ये हमारे साथ जाती है. This goes with us, my friends. That is why the time, the energy that we invest on developing ourselves, let's remember it goes with us. So if you try to come out of a particular negative emotion, and if you developed mastery over that, if you developed control over that, and if you really honestly genuinely worked hard on it, ये जो आपकी डेवलपमेंट है ये आपके साथ जाएगी. And when you incarnate again, will you be the same short-tempered person? No. That is why you will observe कि हर इंसान जब पैदा होता है, हर इंसान का नेचर सेम नहीं होता. Some people are very calm-headed, some people are hot-headed. Some people are very fearful by nature, some people are very courageous by nature. हर इंसान का नेचर अलग है, हर इंसान की इमोशनल डेवलपमेंट भी अलग है. So you should really observe how was your behavior, how were you born as a child. और जो चीजें बचपन से ही, कुछ ऐसे इमोशंस हमारे सबके अंदर होते हैं जो बचपन से ही हमारे अंदर बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है. You know, it is like ये वाली क्वालिटी, suppose there is some quality which is very strong in us, some negative quality, and it is possible that that negative emotion of course is carried forward, but if you work hard towards it in this incarnation, वो डेवलपमेंट भी हमारे साथ जाती है. तो जो हम लोग सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट करते हैं, it is very very fruitful, or it is a smart thing to do. Why? Because that will go with us. अब कुछ लोग होते हैं जो फॉर्म पे अटक जाते हैं, यानी कि हम क्या शब्द सामने वाले को बोलेंगे. बहुत लोग अंदर से एंगर पकड़ के रखते हैं, लेकिन बाहर से दिखाते हैं कि दे आर पोलाइट, दे हैव फॉरगिवन. बाहर से बोलते हैं कि नहीं हमने माफ कर दिया, लेकिन अंदर से आपने माफ नहीं किया. जो आपकी इनर स्टेट है दैट विल गो विथ यू. बट बाहर से जो आप बोल रहे हैं, जो आप प्रिटेंड कर रहे हैं या सामने वाले को दिखा रहे हैं कि मैंने माफ कर दिया, सब चीज ठीक है, दैट विल इन एनी केस स्टे बैक. दैट इज टेम्पररी. What you tell people, what words you use, what you pretend or what you show outside. I use the word pretend. Why? Because if that is not the same inside and if you're just showing outside और बाहर दिखाने के लिए जो हम लोग इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हैं, that is temporary. It will stay back. But जो आपकी inner state है, that will go with you. So what should we focus more on? Should we focus more on how should I layer up to show something to the world outside? Or should we work more on our inner self? जो मेहनत हम लोग अंदर से अपने कैरेक्टर पर करते हैं, अंदर से अपने आप पर करते हैं, that development will go with us. That will stay with us. What will be left behind? What is temporary? Is the layers that you created. You tried to pretend to show someone that I'm sorry, but internally you were not sorry. तो वो जो शब्द आपने उसको बोला, वो temporary है. It will die. But what will go with you is the grudge. अगर आपने वो grudge अभी भी hold करके रखा हुआ है, वो unhappiness, वो grudge अभी भी अंदर में पकड़ के रखा हुआ है, that will go with you. And it will reincarnate. So, isn't it a good idea to keep fine-tuning our emotions? Say for example, if you have a lot of fear in you, अगर बचपन से ही आपको लगता है कि आपके अंदर fears हैं, insecurities हैं, let's work on purifying that. Let's not blame other person कि उसकी वजह से मेरे अंदर डर है या उसकी वजह से मेरे अंदर insecurity है, because that is temporary. अगर वो नहीं आएगा तो कोई और आ जाएगा. Insecurity अंदर में है. And that insecurity will keep attracting someone who will build it up again. The form will change, but if you don't change the inside, you will keep attracting the same form over and over again. The same problem, the same issue, the same type and condition of relationships again and again. So what is reincarnating? Our inner state. What is reincarnating? Our emotional level karma. Let me give you another example. Say you are working in your office, you are a businessman, और आप दिन भर मेहनत कर रहे हैं अपने फैमिली के लिए, पैसा कमाने के लिए. You are constantly working hard towards it. You are putting a lot of effort and you are earning a lot of money. But this is on the physical level. तो physical level पे आप पैसा कमा रहे हैं और पैसा अपनी फैमिली को दे रहे हैं. This will generate a lot of prosperity karma. Even if it is your duty, on the physical level, it is a duty in the eyes of a common human being. But on the spiritual level, you are generating a lot of good karma. क्यों? क्योंकि आप prosperity share कर रहे हैं 5 लोगों के साथ या 4 लोगों के साथ या 3 लोगों के साथ. उसका बहुत सारा prosperity karma in any case is coming to you. So say this is the physical level. But on emotional level, you are always frustrated कि अरे मुझे अपनी family के लिए इतना मेहनत करना पड़ता है, इतना कमाना पड़ता है. अंदर से you are frustrated doing that job. You are doing it. You are earning money. You are sharing your money. But internally you are angry. You are irritable doing that. So आप देखेंगे there are 2 states. So on the physical level, you will get the prosperity karma because you're working hard. You are generating prosperity for your family. But internally, you're angry. You're irritable. So on the emotional level, the same irritable and anger karma will also come back. Same thing happens maybe to a homemaker. वो हो सकता है कि दिन भर में बहुत काम कर रही है, पूरे फैमिली की सेवा कर रही है, physical level पर. So the physical level, you will also get back many things on the physical level. Your needs will be met on the physical level. Why? Because you are meeting the needs of every person in your family on the physical level. But emotionally, जब भी आप ये काम करते हैं, you are always irritable. Oh, मुझे ये करना पड़ता है, ये relationship में मुझे ये करना पड़ रहा है. That पड़ रहा है feeling basically is sowing a wrong emotional seed. So अगर आप वो काम कर ही रहे हैं, might as well do it happily. might as well do it with joy, realizing that when I do this karma is going to come back to me. But क्या होता है कि फिजिकल लेवल पे हम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन इमोशनल लेवल पे अगर नहीं कर रहे हैं, the same thing comes back. Physical level पर it will come back to you as prosperity, but emotional level पर it will come back to you as criticism, as frustration, as anger. And that's why in today's world we see so many people who may be physically rich, physically prosperous, but emotionally they are unhappy. Emotionally they are not prosperous, because this is what we are giving. Sometimes बहुत सारी ऐसी फैमिलीज होती है जिसमें सपोज देयर आर टू ब्रदर्स, ओके, दो भाई हैं, एक भाई बहुत पैसा कमा रहा है, दूसरा भाई उतना पैसा नहीं कमा रहा है, और उसकी मदर भी है घर में, फादर भी है घर में. अब मदर फादर चाहते हैं कि दोनों भाई साथ में रहे, और ऑफ कोर्स बिकॉज ऑफ दैट सेटअप, स्पेशली इन इंडियन फैमिली सेटअप, तो वो एक भाई क्या करेगा, he will be forced to share his money, his income with the other brother. क्यों? क्योंकि हम लोग उस रिलेशनशिप में बंधे रहे हैं, और अपना कल्चर यही बोलता है, आपके पेरेंट्स भी आपको यही बोलेंगे कि नहीं बेटा शेयर कर. ठीक है, तो वो बेटा शेयर कर रहा है, शेयर तो कर रहा है फिजिकली, लेकिन अगर वो दिल से शेयर नहीं करेगा, will not encash complete karma. Of course वो फिजिकली शेयर कर रहा है तो कुछ कर्मा रिटर्न में आएगा, लेकिन अगर रोते रोते शेयर कर रहा है, इरिटेशन के साथ शेयर कर रहा है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन के साथ दे रहा है, so emotional level, emotional karma will not come back. So this is where these teachings help us, that even if you're sharing, don't worry, the good karma will come back to you only. Nobody can take that. Yes, it might feel unfair. Oh my God, I'm earning, my brother is just feeding on it, he's not doing anything. But आपको देना पड़ भी रहा है. The circumstances are such जिसमें आपको देना पड़ रहा है. You don't have a choice. So when you are forced in a particular scenario, when you're forced in a circumstance, embrace it. Embrace it. Why? Because probably your lesson, you need to learn some lesson there. If you don't embrace it, तो क्या होता है, आपको करना तो पड़ ही रहा है और आप कर भी रहे हैं, लेकिन हैप्पीली नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो आपको गुड कर्मा भी नहीं मिलता है completely. You don't even encash the good karma. It's like you're giving also, but you're not giving from the heart. You're not giving it with joy. You're doing it simply because he is your brother. और मुझे करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो मेरे फादर क्या बोलेंगे, नहीं तो सोसाइटी क्या बोलेगी, उस प्रेशर में आप कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आप कर भी रहे हैं. So this becomes a very dual state. So if you are forced to do it, might as well do it with your heart, realizing that it's okay. Because in any case you're doing it. तो अगर आप happily करेंगे तो आपका कर्मा जल्दी खटेगा. And you will be able to come out of that debt, whichever debt you are repaying to your brother. But if you do it with anger, with frustration, you will not be able to come out of it. You will be stuck in it for a long time. And it is possible that you will be stuck even for the next incarnation. So this is a little bit about emotional level. So now let's talk about the third level, mental level. Mental level पर, यानी कि हमारे विचारों के level पर, what do we take with us and what stays back? So even on the mental level, all the skills that we have developed, the IQ that we have developed, the knowledge that we have gained, that goes with us. Then what stays behind? The form, the mental development, the mental skills, the power of creating thoughts, the knowledge about thoughts, that goes with us. So on the mental level, what do you think stays behind? So on the mental level or on the thought level, what stays behind is basically just the form. Like for example, आपको कोई subject सीखने के लिए आपने बहुत mental effort डाला, you studied a lot, mentally you put a lot of effort to study a particular subject. तो उस subject के प्रति जो आपकी mental development हुई है, that development is yours. That development stays with you. The form may go away, क्योंकि with every incarnation that changes, the times change, and it is possible that obviously जैसे पुराने जमाने में लोग लोगों को लिखना नहीं आता था, और हो सकता है हमको भी लिखना नहीं आता था, लेकिन इसका मतलब नहीं कि हमारा आईक्यू लेवल तब नहीं था। तो जो आईक्यू लेवल हमारा होता है, जो डेवलपमेंट हमारी होती है, जो माइंड का जो शार्पनेस हो जाता है, जो माइंड को हम लोग ब्रश अप करते हैं, शार्प करते हैं, माइंड को फाइन ट्यून करते हैं, वो डेवलपमेंट हमारे साथ जाती है। वो जो नॉलेज का फॉर्म है वो हो सकता है वो यही रह जाए। सो अगर आपका माइंड सुपरस्टिशियस है, अंधविश्वासी है, तो वो आपके साथ चला जाएगा। अंधविश्वास क्या चीज पर है वो यहीं छुट जाएगा। But if your mind is superstitious, then you will be again be born as a superstitious mind. But हो सकता है क्या चीज का आपको superstition है वो subject change हो जाएगा. But the development goes with you. So the skills that we develop. Now, suppose कोई इंसान है जो बहुत जब पैदा हुआ था, जब incarnate हुआ था, suppose that person was very very intelligent. लेकिन उसने अपनी इंटेलिजेंस यूज की लोगों को बुद्धू बनाने के लिए, क्योंकि आसपास के लोग उतने इंटेलिजेंट नहीं थे. So this soul used his intelligence to fool other people. Now when this intelligence was used to fool many people, so now what will happen? You use your intelligence, those people will be fooled, that karma will go with you, those people will stay back, वो यही रह जाएंगे. क्या चीज के लिए आपने बुद्धू बनाया वो भी यही रह जाएगा, बट आपके साथ क्या जाएगा? That tendency of fooling others. And when you're born again, the same thing will happen, will come back until you learn the lesson. So my friends, to summarize, I just want to share that this is a very vast subject, it's a very deep subject, but it is a very good way to think and to take our thought process on a little deeper level, and to constantly ask this question: what is temporary and what is permanent? What do we leave here and what do we take with us? अक्सर प्रैक्टिकल लेवल पर जब हम लोग को इम्पोर्टेंट डिसीजंस लेने होते हैं लाइफ के, एटलीस्ट टू मी, this question really helps, and that was the whole idea of sharing it with everyone, that one of the bases for us to take decisions could be to ask ourselves, what am I going to take with me? What am I going to leave behind? It will give us a lot of clarity to take important key decisions of our life. So जब बहुत important decisions लेने होते हैं, ये क्वेश्चन को जरूर से अपनी कॉन्शियसनेस में लाइए कि what will stay here, what will go with us. So with this, I would like to end the talk for today. This talk will stay online for 2 more days, till 4th of June, 10 p.m. So you can share it, and if you want other people also to watch it, you can just share the link of Life Simplified group, and people can watch this with you. Thank you very much for joining in. Atma Namaste.